Okay, it's moving day. We're gonna move this hive up to the bee yard. And most of the bees are inside. However, you can see there are quite a few bees outside. And the reason that happened is because not all the bees are sleeping inside at night. Some of them decided to sleep outside under the stars. So when I came in and closed this, there were still bees outside. So the first thing I got to do is put a strap on this thing so that when we pick it up to move it, we don't want the top box sliding off from the bottom box. There's a lot of different ways to do this. They make staples to staple them together. We're just going to use some cargo straps. Hopefully that'll do the job. We've driven the tractor down here, so we're basically going to pull the tractor right up beside the box, see if we can slide the box off of the tire and into the bucket. That's at least the plan. How it goes, nobody knows. Oh, that's a challenge. And I did wear my suit just in case any of these bees decide that I'm a threat and want to get aggressive. Luckily, these bees have never gotten aggressive. They've been very gentle bees. It's one of the things I like about the bees in this area, the feral bees that we've caught in swarms. They've been very gentle. And that's a good thing, because the bees down south, oh man, they're mean. I think a lot of them have the Africanized blood. Just creates a whole nother level of challenges. Now, since we just put this top box on yesterday, we know it's empty. So it shouldn't add that much weight. Still pretty heavy altogether though, because that bottom box is full. And a deep box like that can weigh up to 90 pounds when it's full of honey. Now we know it's not all honey, there's brood and everything else in there, but still adds up. It's not light. Oh, now let's see if we can get the tractor into position. Unfortunately, cannot see where the bucket is. I don't want to hit the hive and knock it over for sure. Okay. So I can see I've got to come over, I don't know, a foot or two, and can drop the bucket down a hair. This might be a lot of back and forth. If Lorena was here, this would be easy. We move forward, gotta check again, a lot of back and forth. Okay, I need a few more inches. Hopefully I got it. Oh yeah, it looks good. Now we got to see if we can move the hive onto the bucket. So hopefully the bees that are on the hive will ride along and come with us. These bees that are down here on the ground are probably going to be lost. They may find the hive again, they may not. But one thing I notice is I see several small hive beetles on the ground there running around, which basically means that, you know, their larvae fell out of the hive. They then go into the ground, and that's where they metamorphosize and become the small hive beetle from the larva. And now when I opened the hive yesterday, I did not see any small hive beetles in the hive yet. So I guess it's another good time to be moving it, get it away from these beetles. It's all good. Looks like that should ride just fine. So we're going to take it slow and head up to the bee yard. Like I say, hopefully these hitchhikers will stay with the hive. Stick with us. Let's see how it goes. Well, looks like we got a little bit of a problem. Tractor won't fit in the bee yard, and I can't carry the hive from the tractor to the bee stand, the hive stand. So I gotta go get a chainsaw, and I'm gonna have to cut down a tree so I can fit into the bee yard. It's always something. One project turns into another and things go exponential. That's homestead living. All right, we made it up to the bee yard. We did lose some hitchhikers, but there's still a few on the outside. So it is what it is. The bees that didn't stay with the hive, they will start looking for a new home. Maybe they'll find this one, maybe they won't. Alright, now we gotta, I'm gonna lower the bucket just a little bit and then see if we can slide that off of there. So I'm just above, about 2 inches above the platform. I didn't want to set it right on it because I don't want to transfer the vibrations into the stand and you know, transfer that into the other hive. Alright, just need a little stick or something. It's a little bit uneven. Alright, that seems to have done that. Okay, we're going to leave them trapped in there for a little bit. Let them settle down from the move. And then we'll come back and open the hive up. Now, because it was such a short distance, typically when you move a beehive, you either want to move it less than 3 feet or more than 3 miles, and that forces the bees to reorient to the new location. Since we don't have 3 miles of distance on our property, we've got to force them to reorient. So when we do open that back up, we'll put a branch with some leaves over the front of it to show to them this is different. And then hopefully that'll force them to reorient. It's supposed to. We've done it before and it worked. So that's what we're going to do. Stick with us. Let's see how it goes. We're back down here where we moved the hive from. Yeah, there's several bees flying around and they're not happy because their hive's gone. It's unfortunate that we couldn't get them all in there. It's the way it is. But you know, we got a bunch of them flying around down here and sitting on the tire where the hive was, and a bunch of them flying around the area. You can hear them. They're not very happy. That's the way it is. Ain't nothing we can do about that. We can only hope that they find the hive. So what we gotta do now is put our swarm trap up. So like I say, this oak tree here has been our #1 most productive swarm catch location. I don't know how many years we've been doing this. We didn't do it last year because we were just too busy with the build on the shop, so we didn't have time to mess with bees. And of course we lost a few hives due to what I'm going to call poisoning. Somebody sprayed probably herbicide on some trees around here, and probably the power line people. And we lost a couple hives as a result. Really don't remember how high my nail is. I know I put it up higher than I needed to. There it is. And I probably could lower it, but you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. We've just been so effective here. I'd like to stick with that. So they say these catches are good for a couple of seasons. I don't know how many seasons we've been using these now. We put them up and take them down, so they're not out year round. And they have lasted pretty good. They're holding up well. Now, what did I do to prepare this one? Well, yesterday I was waxing beehives or frames, and so I waxed the inside of this, and then I hit it with a shot of Swarm Commander, which that's basically smells like lemongrass oil, and I know it's got some of that in it, but it's got other stuff in there too. I think they put some bee pheromone, queen pheromone in it, and that of course attracts the bees. So these bees that are here without a home have already, they're exploring it. They were immediately attracted to it. Because it smells like a beehive. So between the wax and the pheromone, that's enough to make them want to check it out. And I imagine some of them will move right in there, and if they're still around when a swarm comes, then they'll join that swarm. So they have a chance to live. Usually what bees will do when they've lost their hive is, once they figure out they need to find a new home, they'll start to fly like a search pattern and keep expanding that pattern until they find another hive, and then they'll try to join that. If we're lucky, this hive right here will bring other bees to them, and they can join up then. And of course, joining a swarm is probably the easiest way for them to get in. So we'll see what happens. One way or another, I'm sure everything will work out for these bees. They're pretty smart. All right, off to the next location. Okay, the second swarm trap is up. This one's in another oak tree here at the top of the hill, basically by our camp. I have caught a swarm up here in my equipment, so the location should be fine. Tried to get it as best I could. It's actually pointing a little bit southwest. It would be nicer if I could get it pointing more southeast, but there's too many trees around there, and It's pretty well protected, so we'll see how it goes. All right, so this time of year, there's not a lot of leaves on the trees, some dead leaves that haven't fallen off the oaks, but most of the trees are without leaves, so had to go with an evergreen. And since I had kind of run over a pine tree with the tractor, I took a couple of pine boughs and put them in front of the hive like that. Now that's probably overkill, you probably don't need that much, but it's all good. We're gonna let these bees out of here. So all I'm gonna do right now, so I kind of stuck those in the dirt a little bit just so the wind don't easily blow them over. In a few days or whatever, if it falls over, it doesn't matter. We just need them the first time they come out of the hive to recognize that, hey, something's changed here, and have them reorient to the hive. So on the moving screen, the little doors on the front are still closed. So I'm just gonna reach down there and open that up. And there you go. Bees are starting to come out immediately. There's another door on the other side. I'm gonna go ahead and open that one too. Just kind of there we go. So we got pines in front of the entrance, so they gotta literally fly through the trees to get out. That tells them that, hey, this is different. And now we see bees kind of flying around the front of the hive there. Just a few have come out. And they should start to reorient themselves to the hive instead of taking off to go forage or whatever. That's what we want them to do. We want them to say, hey, this is a different location, reorient so they can find their way home. It's basically resetting their GPS to home, and that way when they go out to forage, they come back here and not to the old location. And that's how we move a hive. It's worked in the past. Let's see what it does this time. Anyway, that's all for today. Appreciate y'all watching, as always, supporting our channel. Stick with us, a lot more coming. We just got to get through, you know, what we're calling an administrative period, where we got a lot of paperwork to do. So got some paperwork to file with the government to get paid for moving our stuff. Got taxes to do, of course, and other little stuff, registration for vehicles, etc. So we're taking care of stuff, getting her done, and we'll be back out here and back to work soon enough. Nice parting shot of this other hive. They are working away. I see pollen coming in and out, and immediately that I'm close to the hive, they are on the attack. They're not in a good mood today. They're just buzzing me and, you know, crashing into me a little bit, not stinging, which that's good. So I'll back on out of here. Y'all have a good one. Take care.